lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
The last dance, some would say. The last chance, some more would have the opportunity to say. This is Long Beach, a track which, by all intents and purposes, has been a few years out, but has been forever in the minds of iRacing for a number of years. A track which, for the longest time, was a tech track until the technology came about where you could smoothly put frame rates in every single item in of this place. This is the gateway to a whole host of street circuits, hopefully, on the horizon for the service. But today is the final round of this, your UK Sim Racing MX-5 Pro Series here. This is where championships get decided. 99 red balloons was sung once by one very, very famous German singer. Today, it's 99 valuable points that we talk about today. Vincenzo Amico holding off Dan Hunt at this stage. Daniel Bristow and Roy Viveka are also sniffing about if they have a chance of a title on the horizon. Welcome to your Esports Broadcasting Network. Welcome to the party and conversation. My name's Jake Sperry. I'm joined alongside, as usual, here by Sam Cooper-Bennett. Sam, it is pretty much all locked up in the amateur category championship as things stand. It's going to take a miracle for Maxwell to overhaul Charles Kellyman. But what we also do know about today is that Vincenzo Amico needs to keep it out of the barriers for 4 more races. If he does that, barring a minor miracle that he finishes outside of the top 15 in each of the 4 races, he will be champion here today.
Yeah, and it's going to be a miracle that Dan Hunt needs. He needs at least one retirement to be back in with a run-in for this championship. 99 points the difference between Hunt and Amico. Amico, and excuse the pun, very much in the driving seat as we go into this one tonight.
Oh, and this is such an important driving seat. You talk about bonus points as well. 0 incidents will be worth keeping an eye out on. You get 5 bonus points for that. For leading a lap, you get 3 bonus points. You get 2 bonus points for the fastest lap in the race. And that is crucial when you talk about the ins and outs of things. And with the session coming up in about 5 seconds time, and a crucial session at that here, Sam, pole position, whoever can muster that up, that's 2 more bonus points.
Yeah, definitely some points up for grabs as well as the clean driver points as well, but those will go to Charles Kellyman, I'm pretty sure, and that will probably help him with his even more with tying up the AM category championship. Another championship that got sewn up last week as well was the teams category championship as well, with Optical Blue just absolutely running away with it.
Well, when you've got your Optical Blue team 3rd, 4th and 5th in the championship, yeah, no doubt you have ran away with it. They've ran away with it to the tune of 1,500 points so far, and it's been pretty much a misnomer, so to speak, that it's not going to be anywhere close, just like it was last season for Momo, who are position number 5 in the championship due to a quick holiday break for Mr. Hefford out there. But every driver knows that qualifying is important. 15 minutes, and more crucial than ever, no escape rule in effect. You must drive the car back to the pits or qualifying is over. We have seen cold tyres be a huge factor in these 28-degree temperatures here around Long Beach. It is the morning, so to speak, so people getting their coffee and their breakfasts seemingly are going to get themselves woken up by a lot of Miatas as they take the charge forward. And no more crucial will it be that if you can't get a lap in qualifying, or not a good lap, you throw it in the wall, your qualifying's over. You would not be allowed to go back out there again. And we talk about qualifying being crucial. Street circuits are notoriously tough to overtake on.
Yes, they are, and especially through the final part of the course where it's like a swift right, a swift left, and then there's very, very difficult riders. But looking at Mick Barry and Steve Hefford right now, and this is the section of the track I'm looking at right now, I'm talking about. It's the right, the left, double left actually, and then immediately that big right into that hairpin. Impossible to overtake there, but if you get it right, you can actually make a move down there. But Oh, it's the run down to turn 1 where I'm expecting the most of the moves to come about.
Well, turn 1, technically turn 2, because the Bridgestone corner, a small flick right does count as turn number 1. Then you've got that big left at turn number 2, which becomes the key factor to today's racing. And on top of all of these factors of some very difficult corners, we've got already one spinner, Alan Toon. About 30 minutes ago, I looked on the brilliant UK Sim Racing Facebook group that they have, Sam. He said, I've only managed to do one clean lap all practice server for about 3 hours. So tells you what you need to know. Alan Toon is struggling today.
That he is, and this will be one frolic he'll soon forget if he can't get it right. And yeah, I am making a play on what he usually says, and it's always nice to see Alan Toon out on track, but tonight he's probably going to forget this one.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a case of try and keep it out to the barriers, stay at the back as the likes of Dan Hunt looks to go and finish the first lap, cutting unironically through the car park here in Long Beach, California. We're not a million miles away from the sunny sights of Los Angeles and Hollywood, California. As we take the charge then over towards the start-finish line, we'll see what the first times will be on the board. A 33.3 is there from Dan Hunt, but he's immediately beaten out by Jamie Ayers in the Momo car behind. A 133.1, good enough to put that one to the very top. Charles Kellyman, third fastest at the moment on a 33.7. So a fairly big spread, I'd say, around here today. And not surprising, seeing as this is a track where you have to absolutely throw it as close to the wall as you can.
And we see, while we were getting ready for the broadcast, I was watching the practice session and seeing how people can get close to the wall. One driver that's gotten close to the wall more than anybody here tonight is the man driving the 12, and it looks like he's done it already in this qualifying session because his wing mirror is hanging off. Dan Bristow has been extra close to those walls here tonight so far.
Yeah, it looks like a very confused dog, that car at the moment. One ear's up and one ear's down if you look at the wing mirrors. But either way, that's not going to deter him from making the charge to the Firestone turn. It's quite ironic, really. This track has both a Bridgestone and a Firestone turn, even though they are part of the same company. How do you manage that one? Through Firestone, then you got the Indy left, so to speak, here on this very, very long and ever-slowing section. That final hairpin that leads back onto Shoreline Drive, and the attack further forward. Bristow currently a little bit down the order, yet to set a representative lap time on the board. One driver will not be taking to qualifying today. That's the 333 Top Gun car of Mark Lutz, but Bristow again, an invalidated lap there in qualifying. Ayers to the point, 132.6 is just profiteering so much off of Dan Hunt's laps right now. Amico is only 5th fastest, 34 flat.
Yeah, but Amico won't be too worried about that. He knows how to make up positions, but won't have it all his own way this time. But like we said at the start of the broadcast, Hunt needs at least one retirement out of Amico to claw his way back into the championship hunt. So 5th place on the grid won't worry that number 78 too much at all.
Well, it won't worry him, but if you're in the middle of the pack, it can be concerning, and that's an improvement. 33.1 from Vincenzo, moves up to 3rd position on the grid as things stand. So not bad at all. Only a handful of drivers yet to put a time in. Andy Maxwell is one of those said drivers at this point in time, who has not yet gone and got himself out in qualifying yet. So that's another driver just to keep a hat in the ring on, so to speak, because there is no guarantees that all of these races are going to be plain sailing as they go around. And there is a big disparity at the moment in the gaps. 9 seconds per lap, the difference, or 8.4 if you want to be precise, between Alan Toon and Jamie Ayers. Hunt's making another drive to the line, and that's much better. 32.5. That is good enough for pole at the moment, and 2 vital bonus points. Bristow goes 3rd.
Bristow finally getting a representative lap time in the optical blue car, and gets the 2nd row alongside Amico. And Bristow, we say that Dan Hunt needs a miracle. Bristow needs an even bigger one if he wants to have any championship aspirations tonight.
I certainly agree here. And Dan Bristow is a little ways back. He's about 60-odd points back of the driver in second position, Dan Hunt. So not only is he relying on Amico to run into troubles, but he's also having to rely on one of those incredible weeks where he just scores and scores and scores, and that long streak of podiums comes back to play once again. Everybody knows that this is not a track for the faint of heart, and everyone looks at street circuits when it comes to iRacing, really. Sam, they go, oh, we want a street circuit, we want a street circuit. The moment they get a street circuit, oh, we can't drive it, we're not good enough.
Yeah, we've had that kind of situation. Even with Montreal, when that came out, people were complaining even though they wanted it, and that's a street course. Same thing happened with Belle Isle, and most recently, same thing has happened with Long Beach when they finally finished it. There is talk of St. Petersburg coming soon, but I wonder how people are going to react to that one.
I think St. Petersburg would be a fantastic circuit for iRacing and the service. It's a track which isn't naturally out there on any real sim. It's a track which is fast, it's flowing, it's a little bit different, and one that I think would be a very welcome addition to the calendars that go on through and helps that US base, which iRacing has cornered the market on so fantastically. But at least for the moment, it is all about time. Speaking of drivers who are back, Hess back, number 72, in 7th position. He's had his little excursion. He's come back for the final round of the championship, 133.3. He is just a smidgen behind Charles Kellyman at the moment and working his way out of the fountain in through Aquarium 1 and Aquarium 2.
And it looks like he's had a bit of an excursion into the wall as well. Again, that wing damage, the wing mirror damage on his car. So that's probably what's costing him some time at the moment. The scrapes along the wall not helping his cause whatsoever. And Kellyman in P6 right now, showing exactly why he is the champion-elect and exactly why he should be racing in Pro next season.
Oh, I agree. A clean driver, a fast driver, a driver who just knows how to put everything together on the board and just make a lap all about him from time to time. You can't really argue too much more about how good Charles Kellyman has been this season. He's now making his way through that final hairpin onto the Shoreline Drive once again and looking to attack. And it's so interesting to see drivers who are on a lap compared to not on a lap. You've got that rubbered-in racing line, but we're seeing drivers go all the way out, use all of the runoff there, Sam, to go and set that lap time up.
Yeah, we just saw that with Peter Van Gool coming down through the start-finish line as Van Gool goes straight on through what you said is turn 2 as Hansford finally displaces Kellyman.
That will hurt for Peter Van Gool because he has taken the toe at the Toyota corner as he just could not get it slowed. He tried to recover and take to the escape road, but he left it far too late into the Acura tyre wall, and therefore Peter Van Gool, that hurts, and that will mean no better than P5 out there in qualifying. Worth stressing in this qualifying session, we're in mostly cloudy conditions. That track, by the way, has gained 5 degrees as this qualifying session has gone on. It is getting exponentially harder to go fast.
Yeah, and we're in morning conditions as well. 10:52 a.m. is being said on the in-sim time, and 33 degrees track temperature is not anything to sniff about. It is going to get very slick out there, and that adds to about, I think, about 80, 90 degrees on in Fahrenheit. So yeah, that's definitely getting up there, and obviously with the California sun beating down on it, it's only going to get warmer.
Yeah, 80 to 90 degrees in American speak. It's always going to be hot is the right way to say it. But we are still in battleground modes at this point in time. Everyone is looking to either A, gear up for a lap, or B, set it up, because we've not got long left in session. Got 3.5 minutes has already gone and passed by. And we know that a lap around here, a minute 32, there or thereabouts, that's 3 minutes. You're out on track now, you've got 2 opportunities. Yeah.
And amazingly, the 2 people that are not out on track right now, currently sitting first and second, they must feel comfortable with how they are right now. And just as I say that, it looks like Dan Hunt might be on his way out now. I take that back. Hunt and Jamie Ayres must feel comfortable with where they are right now because they are not out on track and will probably not take any further pilots. Qualifiers, that was one of the wall back there. I think that was Steve Hafford getting it all wrong and Bristow getting it all wrong as well.
Oh, both Heff and Bristow and Dan Hunt, I can confirm, did take a tow. That is the reason why that he is in all sorts of hurt. He cannot go any quicker than a 32.549. And well, why would he? As that was a case with Daniel Bristow going onto his lap. He just tags the back of Andy Littler, who is allowed to be out there and racing for those laps. You'd have 0x'd on that contact there, Sam. And crucially, with that, it does invalidate the lap, even if you get a 0x for brushing against a wall here, there, or somewhere else. Littler at the moment, 5 seconds adrift in qualifying. Yeah, and the same thing just happened again right there. Steve Hansford just driving into the back of Littler and getting some damage on his car. Now they're going to have to do it all over again. They're coming to the final part of the course, so this will have to be the lap to get them... well, they're going to have to get this lap in. This is the one that matters as Hansford completely runs over Hafford through the final corner. Definitely did. And for Steve Hafford, it has been a trial by getting hit every stage of the way. He was trying to set up a lap. And for Steve Hafford, he was just taking the natural line. And that is the worry that you have around this place. Drivers looking to set up a lap versus drivers who are on a lap. And that contact can happen in qualifying as they go through. A minute 10 then, try and figure some things out. Anthony Larson takes a tow. He will go no faster. Bristow will decide that he cannot find any more. The only driver of note who's really out there right now who could potentially find an improvement, car 78 here, it's Vincenzo Amico. Yeah, just coming through the right-hander and is right behind the 211 of Andy Littler, so we'll probably use his draft if he can use it. Obviously, people have had a few issues around it Littler so far in this qualifying session, so we'll be looking to do the best he can as Amico will be looking to try and get on that front row or as close to Dan Hunt as possible, as now uses a bit of draft off Littler and just going to sail on by, it looks like. How apt on Seaside Way, he'll try and make the move into the Firestone turn. The right-hander compromises the line through this section, but is looking to attack off of the exit here through the Indy left and continue to charge. Is this going to be good? Checkered flag about to come out, really trying to attack that final corner, almost drifting slightly through that section. So it's the run to the lines that we'll be focusing on. Amico, I doubt, will have improved on this lap, but he's going to go for it anyway. As he crosses, it is a 34.4, no chance at all then for improvement. Charles Kellyman is the only other driver out on track who can improve on that lap, which just shows you how tough Long Beach is, seeing as everybody has pretty much ended their qualifying before the timer of 15 minutes here today has expired. And by all intents and purposes, make that 99-point gap at the top 97 with Dan Hunt where he is. Kellyman dives into the pits, so we get a long look on how things are starting. Amico is in the flower bed right now, by the way. Down at the fountain corner. You can drive into the flower beds there, but you know that you are going to get a slowdown penalty for doing so. Let's look at the grid. Dan Hunt in the 07 has brought 2 points back by securing fastest lap and has done so with a 132.549. Has a margin of about 800ths in the end over Jamie Ayres, the number 46 machine there in second, with Daniel Bristow in position number 3. Vincenzo Amico lines up in 4th with Peter Van Gool in 5th position and Steve Hefford in 6th, making it a all-Momo 3rd row of the grid. Charles Kellyman goes from 7th with Anthony Larson then in 8th place. Steve Cooley starts this one from 9th and Ralph Cullinan rounds out then at the top 10. Mick Barry starts 11th, outside shot for Roy Viveka, but his lap time a 36.3. That's not going to get the job done here at this point. He'll have a long race in 12th with Steve Hansford, Andy Littler, and Alan Toon. The last drivers setting lap times a 38.8 in the end for Alan Toon. And the last 2 drivers who did not set a lap time in the server those being Andy Maxwell, who will start ahead of Mark Lutz then here by retrospect of having a higher I rating than the 333 German. But 2 minutes they will have to line themselves up onto the grid around this paradise of a circuit. And really here, as we sit on the west coast of the United States of America here, Sam, what is the expectations on this opening lap? They know it bottlenecks up through the fountain. They've got to sort themselves out quickly.
Number one objective, keep it clean, keep it out the wall, and you might stand a chance. And just watch your relative, because one mistake into those walls could cost a lot of other people races, not just your own. So it's going to be a very, very tough ask to keep a lot of people out that wall, but you got to do what you got to do at the end of the day. It's very difficult around here.
That's why we say never when it comes to sim racing, because we know anything can happen, and in the words of Murray Walker, it usually does around this place. A wonderful racetrack here at Long Beach, and one that by every single measure should be raced out there in the real world today, because it is just that beautiful to take ourselves here on this 3.06 kilometer 11 turn circuit. Everybody is ready almost. They are now. Lights procedure will start. The first of 4 races tonight to decide the champion. 15 minutes on the clock. Lights on here at Long Beach. Lights are out here at Long Beach. Ayres bogs down off of the get-go. This is going to allow Daniel Bristow the chance to attack. Amico's not got the best start either. Peter Van Gool moves alongside. Hunt struggling a little bit there to get the power down off of this phase of acceleration. And Amico forcing Hansford all the way to the wall as they run to Toyota for the first time. They jam on the brakes. It'll be Dan Hunt who leads them through. Ayres in second, Bristow third, and Amico somehow has held on to 4th place.
Great start by everybody right there, as Hansford almost getting into the back of Amico just as you said that, and everybody makes it cleanly through the fountain, and that's usually the first part of the problem on the opening lap. But everybody around safely, and now you just got to run your lines and just try the best you can to get around the car in front of you. Everybody just in single file at the moment though.
Everyone in single file, not surprising for a street circuit as they enter the TK turn. Up Pine Avenue they will go to the junction of Pine and Seaside. The next section as they pass the big Long Beach Convention Center on the right-hand side of circuit as they charge on forward. Still though, every single overtake will matter at this stage, going all the way back to Ralph Cullinan and Charles Kellyman racing hard for position. At the front, it is Dan Hunt, and so aggressive there from Jamie Ayres. I wonder if he'll get a slow down penalty for how aggressive he was there over those curbs. I think he's okay, but you've got to try and set it up. Amico has defended the line going into the final section of road and has covered it off. But look at Ayres attacking off the exit. Van Gool slips out to the exit as well, and that is going to allow Larson through. And look at Hansford go!
Yeah, Hansford's been on the attack since the drop of the green flag, and now sees his chance with an attempt at a pass on Amico, and it's again this run down to the corner, probably the best passing opportunity you're going to have here on this track. And here comes Hansford, big dive to the inside. Ayres tried the outside and plants himself into the wall. Hansford nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go indeed. I wonder if there was contact there. And Van Gool's in the fountain. Peter Van Gool is in the fountain as it's all gone wrong for PVG in the number 39 machine. Hit the brakes, tagged the back of Anthony Larson and threw it in the fountain.
Then we're going to take a look here. Just went straight on. And that is not a nice way to go at all. You just find yourself dead on, face on. Oh! We've got incidents in the back, and it was almost a collision between Amico and Hansford. Hansford having to back out here. We've got a problem for the 72. And there it is, into the wall.
Yeah, it's rule 1 of sim racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Hansford's clattered the back of Jamie Ayres.
So, that rule already been broken in race 1 as Hansford having to back out of it now. He's let a plethora of cars through now. The Momo cars are in trouble, all in the space of one lap.
Just like that, it can happen so quickly. You lose concentration, you lapse for a couple of seconds, and then it all just goes away in the blink of an eye, and that will always be a cause for concern. Hefford's going to keep going out here. Jamie Ayres going to take that difficult run into the pits. Andy Littler spins it out of the final corner. That will be a world of hurt there for Andy as they go through, and almost some three wide in the middle. Andy Maxwell lets through Mark Lutz, who wants to attack Ralph Cullinan, as Mick Barry here is now up into 5th place.
Mick Barry is on a charge right now, just capitalising on other people tripping over themselves, but these AM category drivers seem to be really on it tonight. Barry especially has found something around here and is right in front of the AM category champion-elect.
Exactly! Contact between the leaders as Bristow clatters into the back of Dan Hunt through the T-Cake corner. He was trying to be aggressive through there. There was no spin, just the contact. And now the question will be, is there any damage on either of them? There is nothing on Dan Hunt, and crucially, there is nothing on Dan Bristow. Two Dans really fighting with everything they've got.
And that's not the first time those two have come to blows this season. They need to be careful, though, with this battling that's going on. They've got two Ronin Simsport drivers bearing down on them, Amico and Larson, just watching this battle going on in front of them and thinking, yeah, one little mistake, guys, and we're just going to take it away from you.
And that might be half the plan here from Dan Hunt. Just make small mistakes, bring Amico in, more likely to have that one accident that needed, and round goes in the green optical car. Charles Kellyman leading AM, does not have everything his own way. No contact, it seemed, just lit up the rears.
Yeah, and Steve Hansford having to crawl around. Yeah, there was a bit of contact. He had a bit of help there, but Kellyman now going to have to rejoin at the, well, almost at the very back. Obviously, Jamie Ayres is at the back after being down pit road, but going back to the lead battle here, Bristow is right on the tail of Hunt here as they circulate with 9.5 minutes to go.
9.5 minutes to go out of Aquarium 2 to the very, very treacherous T-Cake corner. This is the place where it has been time and again troublesome. Going through the left, they're nice and fine this time, and Amico, all he needs to do is finish 4 races, doesn't matter where they are, so long as he's not finishing in the back in P17, he should be fine. And that is the key to these races. Just finish whatever you do. And Dan Hunt knows that, with Dan Bristow just wanting victories, knowing he's got nothing to lose. He's just got to put as many points as he can on the table. Yeah, and how nice would it be for Vincenzo Amico? He just wants that number 1 in his car next season. That's all it boils down to, is Dan Hunt almost slamming the wall on the exit of the hairpin. It happens as quickly as that. Out of the final corner, got really aggressive all the way up to the wall, scared it a little bit, sweating bullets that wall is after that. But now here comes Dan Bristow, looking to try and figure out whether there can be a lunge into turn number 1. Takes the natural line, it's defended by Dan Hunt all the way through the opening section. Attack off the exit by Bristow, not enough for a run here into the fountain for the 5th time here in this race. And they all understand that you cannot throw this race away, not this early. Second pack looking interesting. Viveka, Maxwell, Cullinan, Cooley, Lutz and Barry all there, and it is for the moment a gap starting to form for Barry and for Lutz. Yeah, Barry doing exceptionally well here, still holding on to that P5 and does have the pace over Mark Lutz right now. Lutz has been steadily making his way through the field from the back of the grid. Obviously he did not qualify as he was excluded, so Lutz, the biggest mover right now. Not exactly closing in on Mick Barry though. No, it's not exactly a closing in. Mick's definitely holding his own right now, as once again the leaders enter the car park section of the track, the Indy left into the final corner here, which leads on to Shoreline Drive. And every little moment that they make another lap is one more moment towards the end of this race. And these drivers are all being patient. They've seen the mistakes in the early goings. Got a bit of side-by-side Andy Littler and Charles Kellyman racing out for 15th place. Kellyman on the Seaside Way. He's going to dive down the inside and is going to pick up the place then over Andy Littler. Next up will be Steve Hansford just in front. The issue is, well, if you can't make a move, you can't guarantee it, what's the point in trying for one? That's why you do see these train.
Yeah, and it's all about patience. You can't force the issue around here. That's how you're going to end up in the wall. So you just got to be patient and try and force the guy in front of you to make a mistake. That's a nice bit of forced pressure to force it to get around another person. The other one being strategy is Bristow just tags the wall going into the left-hander.
So did Alan Toon, by the way, in through turn number 2. So seems like drama is befalling pretty much everybody everywhere out there on circuit as they all try and keep themselves on the proverbial island. Here comes Dan Bristow, though, for the race lead. Dan Hunt on the inside on the run to Firestone. This is going to take some brave braking here from Bristow to hold the outside line. He's going to keep his nose in here through the Indy left, but he runs out of road on that outside track. So good defending there by Dan Hunt. Knew that Bristow wanted that attack and is still going to try it here on the front stretch through Shoreline Drive to get this all sorted. That all coming about by Bristow finding a really aggressive line onto the Seaside Way, and here will come the move. Yeah, Bristow is really looking for it, but he's going to be given the outside line here, coming towards that tight left-hander in towards the fountain section. They are coming up on Jamie Ayres, who's about to go a lap down, but here we go. Bristow going to look around the outside, but again, Hunt using the lateral line. Bristow going to look for it. Bristow, wow, that's very deep from the 12. Deep, and it had to be deep. He was trying to outbrake one driver there, being Dan Hunt. Didn't quite manage it there in that section, and it all just fell apart in the palm of his hand there, and suddenly Amico is on the back and starting to sniff behind opportunity to try and make something happen. You've still got that group of 4 or 5 out there at the moment. Lutz with Cullinan, with Cooley and Maxwell and Viveka, and they are all going to be figuring out, well, how do we get the point that we so richly need as they enter the big left-hander of turn number 5. Oh, I believe it's 6 out there on track, the TK turn. And again, through the next right that comes along, which leads onto the Seaside Way. This group, they've been staring at each other all race long. It's been like watching Cowboys at high noon. Someone's got to make the first shot.
Yeah, obviously Cullen not quite close enough to Katz, but Maxwell is close enough to Cooley, so there might be a move in the offing there very soon. And one driver we've not mentioned about so far tonight is Roy Viveka. He's just happily sitting where he is, just riding behind his optical green teammate.
Yeah, zero risk racing tonight from Roy Viveka. P10, all the job that needs to be done. Side by side for the lead. Bristow searching for the inside. He's not going to get there. Gives a shot to the back of Dan Hunt. These two are figuring out how do we go about our business and get the one thing we want more than anything else. Dan Hunt seemingly has that middle sector all on pat because he's just broken away 6/10.
I think Dan Bristow scraped the wall again. That's probably what caused it, as they come into the left-hander once again. And yeah, Hunt definitely is stretching his legs now. They both actually pulled the gap on the Ronin Simsport cars as well, so they're starting to fall backwards.
Toon, and there's a blown engine as well. Someone's gone off there and is in the tyre barrier, and it's one of the optical green cars there in trouble. It's Steve Hansford. So there's some big dramas down at turn 1. Alan Toon out broke himself into a Toyota, threw it in the wall, and then on the downshift, it all fell away for Steve Hansford.
Yeah, as we were looking at Toon's incident there, and there's Hansford. 2 incidents happening at the very same corner, and well, that is actually quite normal for Long Beach, so unfortunate for Toon and Hansford, but that's just normal racing at Long Beach.
Oh, speaking of, Steve Cooley here has been overtaken by one Mr. Andy Maxwell, but has managed to wrestle it right back at the final corner. Still the attack to turn 2. The opportunity opens up then for number 19 with a very slim chance of the amateur category championship. Bridesmaided last season, might be about to do so again. Very well on the brakes through the left-hander. nicely picking up that place back. Not covering it off just yet, but then when they funnel single file, that is his through the fountain.
Yeah, so Maxwell up into P8 now, sorry, I apologise, but this battling helping Viveka back in as well, so Viveka might see a chance there near the end of the race. They're a very nice 15 seconds ahead of Steve Heffer's. What have you seen?
I've seen Anthony Larson off the road in the wall from 4th place. It was at turn 2, drove it into the tyres, managed to get it extricated out again without losing place, but look who's got the eyes bigger than the belly right now. It will be one Mick Barry in the 675 who lunges for the inside because there's damage to the front of Anthony Larson. There's nothing he can do about it. They're all going to want to go through now. Mick Barry is up into 4th position as the last lap starts in this one. Dan Hunt and Dan Bristow, the two Dans trying to figure it out. Island Racing from Vincenzo Amico is exactly what he is hoping for at this stage. Maxwell is aggressively fighting with Steve Cooley in the back of this all going on, and that's also going to be quite crucial as here comes the moves from Mark Lutz and Ralph Cullinan as they look towards turn number 2 at Toyota. Larson left standing at the station. Here comes the chance. Lutz is going to defend this one hard in towards turn number turn 2 even, and does well enough to defend. It looks like Maxwell here has dropped 2 places for his troubles as well, so they will hurt. Bristow, though, all over the back of Dan Hunt, looking to try and open up a chance on this final lap. It will have to be the Seaside Way or the Big Send when it comes to that final hairpin turn. Through the right, they lead onto Seaside Way. It's a good run there from Dan Bristow. Dan Hunt, he's defending this one heavily. Has gone all the way to the right-hand side of the circuit. He's going to have to do this the long way around if he wants to get this move. And finally jinks over at the latest opportunity. Bristow searching around the outside. Washes out, though, and that's going to cost the chance unless there is the super send down at the final corner. If there's any place it's there, and it's not going to happen, and he knew it. On top of that, Dan Hunt converting a pole position to a victory, and crucially doing so in such a way that says, I am in it for the championship.
Yeah, it's not over until the fat lady sings, as they say. And Dan Hunt is definitely exercising that right now, and he finishes ahead
Cooley
of Amico as we've got problems for Cooley.
Final corner has gone around, and that is just by being too aggressive with the wall on the inside. Clipped it, effectively put himself up on 2 wheels and spun it round.
Not a good way to end your race, especially with it being the last corner, but Cooley able to cross the line in the end, and P10 at the end, and 2 of the 3 Ronin Simsport cars just absolutely falling off at the end there.
That's one of the things that this track does. It's a concentration game. The last driver, Andy Littler, will make a way to the line. Before, though, we go and keep an eye on our official classified results. What we're going to do for you, ladies and gentlemen, is take our spinning wheel out for the first time tonight. This indicates where we are heading. Grids 2, 3, and 4. We have reverse grids for every race that goes through. Let's spin that wheel. Let's see what level of reverse we are going to get.
And it's number 12 for the first time tonight.
For the first time tonight, it is number 12, and that is important because it puts PVG, Peter Van Gool, on the pole position for that one. Let's get confirmation of result. Dan Hunt, 15 minutes, 45 seconds, wins by 3/10 in the end over Daniel Bristow. Vincenzo Amico ends up with 3rd there with a pretty solid drive by himself. Mick Barry will pick up 4th place after starting 11th, and Mark Lutz from the very back of the field gets a top 5 for his troubles, up 12 places in that one. Ralph Cullinan will take 6th, with Anthony Larson dropping back late into 7th. Roy Viveka getting 8th place, with Andy Maxwell 9th. And it's Steve Cooley, Charles Kellyman, and your aforementioned Peter Van Gool on pole position for race number 2. No bonus points for that. Then you've got Andy Littler, P13, Steve Hefford in 14th. Then you got Jamie Ayers 1 lap down, Alan Toon and Steve Hansford, the other drivers, laps down in the event. What we're going to do for you, though, right now here, ladies and gentlemen, is take our little walk down pit lane, find a driver that we want to have a bit of a conversation with, and take the time to go and have said chat out there. And I don't often get the chance to do so, but I am going to drag Mick Barry in for a bit of a conversation. Mick, that is 4th place. You must be absolutely chuffed with yourself.
Yeah, chuffed to beans. Yeah, just kept going, and 2 people kept falling by the wayside, so I just kept going.
Well, plodding along is certainly the way forward. We can inform you right now, without the need to have me on in the background as noise with the broadcast, that it will be a 12-car reverse that we've got moving forward into race number 2. So a little bit of work then for you. 9th position on the grid. Similar starting place. Are you hoping for more of the same?
Yeah, definitely. If some people fall by the wayside, then great. And if I get the opportunity to overtake, I will. Unfortunately, that last hairpin, everybody else seems to be quicker around there than myself. So that's where I'm losing a bit of time, I believe. But everywhere else, I feel really comfortable.
Absolutely. Maybe just steer a little bit more strongly. That might give you a little bit of help. But ultimately, you can't complain. 4th position. It's been a tough season for the Work Guard team. How important is it going to be to revitalise the team for next season?
Yeah. We need permanent drivers. A few of the lads haven't been able to this season, including myself. I've had my own problems and that. But yeah, we're ready next season. 3 guys on board, myself and Alan, and hopefully Dale may come back or one of the others. And obviously with Craig Jones and Ralph and Andy Littler, and maybe Carl Hardy might even join the fun. So hopefully we can get full strength back with the result, boys.
Full strength definitely would be crucial. Before we let you go, Mick, shout out sponsors or anyone you'd like to thank.
All the lads at Result, all the guys that I race with. Thanks to Steve and Jamie for sorting everything out and get it running, and to yourselves for excellent stream and commentary.
No worries at all there. Mick Barry, 4th position overall. Every reason to be excited about that. We're going to step aside for one moment here with ESPN. We'll be back with race 2 of 4 tonight. Your finale races here from Long Beach, California.
Firing up the...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to your UK Sim Racing MX-5 Pro Series here from the wonderful Long Beach, USA. I'm Jake Sperry here, ESPN, joined as ever with Sam Cooper Bennett. Race 1 was very, very interesting. We talk about how drivers pick up points here and there and how bonus points matter. They matter so much because 7 points found themselves into the back pocket of Vincenzo Amico, which means that he's only lost for that first race there, Sam. 8 points. Gap is 91. It's very much looking right now like it needs to be a retirement somewhere down the road.
It has to be, because it's... if it's going to be a straight fight between Vincenzo and Dan, it's not going to work in Dan's favour at all. Obviously, Amico had a clean race in race 1, plus he got the fastest lap of the race, so it just worked against Dan Hunt, even though he won it and only got 8 points back off him. So he's going to be praying for Amico to have a serious problem in the remaining races tonight to even get a chance of that championship here tonight.
Well, it's not out of the realms of possibility. A 12-car reverse grid has certainly brought itself into play, and as we know, overtaking seemed difficult in that first race. A couple drivers with a little push to pass as into the wall goes Anthony Larson after a little bit of push and shove. So it's going to be an awkward one, I reckon, this race too, because drivers are going to try and be aggressive. They know that points are at stake.
Yeah. And you said that overtaking was difficult round here. One driver that didn't find it difficult at all was one Mr. Mick Barry, who I believe has got his career best finish tonight so far. So Mick Barry and Mark Lutz on a bit of a charge here tonight.
They absolutely are, and we have seen how charges have worked and how some charges have not here so far, with everybody trying to sort themselves out and get ready here for just some amazing sim racing on the horizon. What's more, ladies and gentlemen, if you are here for the first time and you have stumbled across this final round of the season, you can like, share and subscribe to the Esports Broadcasting Network for more amazing content brought to you by the team here. Now, you start thinking about all the scenarios that go in your head. Crucially, track temp is still 33 degrees, so only going to get colder from here on in. And if it's only going to get colder, it's only going to get slipperier, it's only going to get more likely you're going to find some walls.
Question is, where are you going to find the walls? We've seen the most problems tonight happen in turn 2 and through the fountain, so that's where you're going to see the most of the problems. Maybe into the hairpin as well. We saw a couple of incidents through there, and with the track being ever so slippier, especially through races 3 and 4, we could see a few more slides happening into that one. As we just had a big crash with Dan Hunt, and I think that was Charles Kellerman as well.
Absolutely was, right at the end of server. So sounds like we are going to advance the server potentially over towards the race. So might be that we're just waiting for one driver potentially to be okay. Jamie Ayres has been on the blower saying someone's not here, and we are going to be there. And in fact, no, there is the checkered flag. We are going to jump on over that for a second 10-lap race. They ran 10 laps, of course, in that first race, and now they've got to figure it out. So the grid is going to be on as follows on your screen. Peter Van Gool on pole position with Charles Kellyman second. Steve Cooley starts from third with Andy Maxwell fourth. Then it's Roy Vervaker and Anthony Larson, Ralph Cullinan and Mark Lutz. Mick Barry goes from ninth. Vincenzo Amico 10th. Then it's Daniel Bristow and Dan Hunt. Andy Littler, Steve Hefford, Jamie Ayres, Alan Toon, Steve Hansford make up the 17. And crucially, Mark Lutz finally does realise, oh, I've got a penalty. So he gets off of the grid and back into the pits then with that one good heads up then from one Mr. Lutz. Everybody then is ready. Everybody then is steady. Race 2 of 4 tonight. PVG is on the front. Green flag in the air. We are racing here from Long Beach. Good start there on the front from Charles Kellyman, immediately pulling himself up alongside. It was a slow start there for Mick Barry as he went on through. Dan Bristow now is going to try and go 3 wide as they make the run through, as is by the way, against Andy Maxwell and Roy Vervaeke, Anthony Larson, as they now jam on the brakes into the opening section of track. Are they going to be all nicely behaved as they go through? Peter Van Gool's got the good run then. Cooley in third, Kellyman in second as they check on through. It's a case to find some space out there on track.
No, one driver that's not finding space at the moment is Vincenzo Amico. He's being boxed in at the moment in this only part of the race. Smith Barrington goes for a spin.
And that is as easy as that. Was on the inside, unsettled the car on the tyres, and that is why he's going around for a little bit of an oopsie daisy. I'll try and recover it back, but at least in the early goings then, it is Van Gool in control. Kellyman second, Cooley third, Vervaeke in fourth, and Larson then rounds out the top 5. Every position matters, and crucially, Dan Hunt is 2 places back because he's behind Ayres, and there's a spin out, that's Cooley.
Yeah, in the background, coming down the straight right there, just got turned. And we're going to go back and take a look at that one, and I think it might have been involving Mr. Roy Vervaeke.
Turned himself.
Oh,
That's
no, yeah.
the issue. He grabs the tyres there as he goes through, hits the wall. Vervaeke nowhere to go. Same for his teammate. So some Rule 1 in full effect there as they enter the hairpin. And look at this, spins! There's a spin. Amico gets a tap behind from Dan Hunt, who gets ahead, but a spin, and it's Ralph Cullinan in the result car who is around after contact, I believe, with Jamie Ayres.
Yeah, and a very lucky escape for Vincenzo Amico. That could have been race over for him, and that would have fallen nicely in Dan Hunt's wheelhouse. Speaking of Dan Hunt, he's putting a move on Anthony Larson and going into turn 2 now. Can he get the job done? Yes, he can. As Hunt,
Oh,
the wall!
He's too deep behind in the wall. Goes Alan Toon. He's found the wall again at turn 2, but Hunt has got away with one there. Bit of contact going through. He's lost the back of the train, and now you've got some real problems here. If you're Dan Hunt, that is your warning shot fired here in this race number 2. Battle is on for second position. Look at Bristow. Damn, Bristow now up into second position. Big let through of everyone by Charles Kellyman. He is racing for those points, and he is title racing for the AM category. Vervaeke fighting hard with Hansford.
Yeah, and Optical Blue are on a charge once again. Obviously, they're missing Martin Sampson this week, but it's not affecting them too much as Bristow up to second. Vervaeke looking to move forward as well, but Hansford and Maxwell doing everything they can to keep him behind him and try and make sure that this isn't another walkover by Optical Blue again.
No, that's very, very true. They want to make sure there is some pride. They hold on to the team's championship for a couple more hours at least at this stage, as Dan Hunt all over the back of Charles Kellyman. I think gave him a little bit of a toe tap going on through. Lutz in the end making some progress as well. He's up a couple places then as Kellyman will let those two go of the 2 main protagonists, of course, Amico and Hunt, to go and race their race out at this one. 5.5 seconds, though, the lead for Peter Van Gool. Question is, he's got 7 laps to hold that gap against arguably the hardest charger when it comes to races 2, 3, and 4, Daniel Bristow.
Yeah, but even Dan Bristow's found it difficult around here tonight. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to close the gap, and the gap is still being extended here by Van Gool. Van Gool is actually able to get away, albeit on his own. Bristow not able to do anything about it right now.
And that's the key. Unable to do anything to chase down the gaps, to chase down what's needed. There is not much that you can argue about that. If you can't catch, there's no way you can take the lead. You're having to rely on mistakes to creep into play. Roy Vervaeke now in full tactical retreat here. He's got Dan Hunt right behind, who's going to be searching for a move to the inside. Here comes that Stead move. The Belgian is going to lose out 1, and I think he's going to lose out 2. Because here through will also go Amico, and he will also pick one up. So damage limitation is perfect right now for Vincenzo. He's doing everything he needs to.
Yeah, and he's somehow stayed in this race despite everything that's happened. He got boxed in on the start. He had that contact out of the hairpin a couple of laps ago, and now can focus on trying to finish this race. Now everything's all spread out nicely for him. Does have a tiny bit of front end damage, but doesn't seem to be affecting him right now.
Not at this moment anyway, and if he continues to knock that, he might be in a bit more trouble out there on track. 33.5 his last lap, that wasn't anything to shake a stick at, so to speak, going through as they enter this beautiful fountain section. The aquarium there on the right-hand side has roof parking, by the way, and nobody on top taking advantage there in the sim of the roof parking to go and get through. Business is closed, but Jamie Ayres, who's just in front of Dan Hunt, this is going to be interesting. He's got Andy Maxwell in the sights.
Yeah, and would love to get around Maxwell. Obviously, the wing mirror, as customary around here, flapping in the wind on Jamie Ayres' car, but he would love to get right up there with Hansford, and Hansford having his own problems just ahead, as it looks like he tagged the wall coming out of the corner.
He has been friendly. He has been making acquaintances with every wall around this circuit today, has Steve Hansford, and I'm sure he wouldn't want to make any more friends, otherwise he'll make some enemies out there of the course. So that's still something in the back of the mind that is still playing a factor here at Long Beach. But it is now getting tight. Contact between Ayres and Maxwell, and here comes Dan Hunt. Room's going to be given then by Jamie Ayres. They don't want to interfere in that championship battle. They go to the inside. It is going to be Dan Hunt on the outside trying to pick up that move, and he knows he's going to have to be aggressive here and get both of them if he doesn't want to get bogged down and frustrated. Boxes in Jamie Ayres fantastically as they hit the brakes. Great elements of braking as they go through, and nicely secured is that place. Maxwell holds on to his, and it looks like just in front that Steve Hansford might have been a little bit friendly again with another wall potentially, or he just ran in deep. No, he did run in deep, and he did tag the wall.
Yeah, and he did it again just there as well, so Hansford needs to be careful. One wrong hit on the wall there, and that could end his race 2, just as it did race 1, so needs to be really careful here, does Mr. Hansford. I wonder if a bit of rustiness has crept in there with those 2 weeks he's had off.
It's not the easiest place in the world to come back to race, Long Beach, where it's so narrow and you have to be so pinpoint accurate. You need a few weeks to get yourself into the groove for a racetrack like this. It's one of the many Monacos, some would say, in the sim racing service of iRacing. On the brakes through the big right-hander, they come along off Firestone, then the left of Indy, and they charge on forward. Still Maxwell trying to defend this one from Hunt. Bit of traffic in front of Steve Hansford as well. That's Charles Kellyman. And then there's a little bit of a gap to Dan Bristow at this stage. But Peter Van Gool doing everything correctly at this point in time to maintain the gap. But Maxwell has just lost a place, and that is to Vincenzo Amico and to Jamie Ayres. And again, it was another case of being friendly through that hairpin. Maxwell has not made a best friend out of the likes of Jamie Ayres.
Yeah, got a bit of a shove through the final turn, did Andy Maxwell. That's how he lost the 2 spots, but now he's got a bit of clean air with Amico and Ayres just running off into the distance. And now Amico needs to get around Jamie Ayres here, but as we've alluded to quite a bit here tonight, Amico doesn't really need to do much here tonight. He just needs to finish the race.
Oh, Hansford's in the wall, and he's going to bring then in with that one Charles Kellyman. That is a heavy hit. He was too aggressive into the corner, slamming into the wall on the inside and careening into the innocent bystander of Charles Kellyman, and that has thrown a huge opportunity for Maxwell.
Yeah, as Hansford, I did say he needed to be careful, otherwise it's going to end badly for him, and it has, as he is slow down the back straight here, and he's going to have to either tow that or bring it into pit road and retire.
Oh, this is dangerous. This is where you need a mechanical white flag saying there is a slow car on the circuit. It's going to let 2 more go and is very much trying to get the last life out of that car, which is looking very good for those California scrappers. And there's a spin. Car's completely off center. He's completely collapsed the suspension. Yeah, so retirement there for number 72, Mr. Steve Hansford. Kellyman has retired as well as look at Ayres.
Jamie Ayres is in a nice little battle with Amico. Amico being very forceful here through the fountain, looking for the outside. Might have given him the inside to the right-hander, but didn't really have the momentum on the exit of the fountain there.
that was a chance, and that was an important chance for Vincenzo Amico. He'd made the move on the inside at the second turn of Toyota. The only difference was Jamie Ayres had him up and under. Here comes Amico again, searching for that inside. No dice from the former pro Stripe. It is going to be wonderfully done again by number 46, Jamie Ayres, who holds off the charge once more and is a lot more aggressive on the run onto Seaside Way.
Yeah, now Amico will get a run on Ayres coming down to Firestone. Can he get a run? No, not quite close enough. As Amico has to be patient again and wait until possibly after the hairpin to have another run at Ayres. But he's right on his tail coming through this final part, so he will have a chance. A bit of a shove there on Ayres, and Amico has to back up, and a chance for Maxwell there. Maxwell, being the gentleman driver that he is, just stops and lets Amico carry on his merry way.
Well, that's important in terms of the championship. That little shot to the back of Jamie Ayres will be a warning through that final section. I do want to look behind at the battles going on, the 7th, 8th and 9th, because Roy Viveka here is going to just let two go. Ralph Cullinan and Mark Lutz find their moves nicely all situated. And crucially, Mick Barry has got himself a bigger gap now on Anthony Larson in 11th place. That was also a change for position out on circuit, because Larson is back in struggle street with damage.
Yeah, not the best of nights for Larson so far, as he's got a lot of front end damage on that MX-5, but hopefully he can get some more improvement in races 3 and 4, but at the moment Larson just not having a good time at all.
Not having a good time is the correct word for it. We have had a retirement. Charles Kellyman now out of the race. Alan Toon and Steve Cooley in the pits, which means that Steve Hefford, who is also in the pits, is technically out of the race. Steve Hansford now, last car on the lead lap, and is fighting here at this moment in time. Very interestingly, with Andy Littler, and this, I don't want to be rude and say wooden spoon race, but it does feel a little bit like that, the two last cars on the lead lap.
I mean, whoever finishes last gets hit with the wooden spoon, I'm pretty sure, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
I'm sure that's a culture difference.
Yeah, pretty much.
Meanwhile, Amico versus Ayres side by side as they enter Bridgestone corner, and now on the run to Toyota, turn number 2, out on track. Ayres is going to have to be aggressive here if he wants this place back, and he's not going to get it. Amico just placing the car exactly where it's needed. Finally has the move done, but it's costed 6 seconds to get the move all sorted.
Yeah, and Amico has only got a lap and 3/4 to get back to Dan Hunt. It's going to be a bit too little too late for the champion-elect as they come through the right-hander and down towards this left-hander. I have been keeping an eye on the gap between Van Gool and Bristow, by the way. Van Gool is keeping that time between himself and 12 very nicely. It's been about 5.5, 5.6 now since Van Gool was able to break away and Bristow moved up to second.
It's telling. It's really, really telling, and I am enjoying the fact that we are seeing such great racing out there here today. Peter Van Gool has just been driving alone from the front of the field and hasn't been asking too much more. The battle still rages on here between Vincenzo Amico and Jamie Ayres. Maxwell is shadowing this, knowing that there is still a lot to do, but Ayres too aggressive through that final hairpin. It's going to drop a little bit of time going through onto the front section of this circuit. The last lap of this one has started here, Sam, for Peter Van Gool. 5.6 to the good.
Yeah, and it's just got to keep it on the track now. Not a single bit of damage on that Red Momo machine as he makes his way through the right-hander here, and all he's got to do is keep it on the tarmac, and he's got a race win here.
Easier said than done. So TK turn then. This is a wonderful section where you've got this dual interstate. You get to the crossroads. You go then to the left-hander. You take the crest up through Pine Avenue, and you take the right onto Seaside Way. You pass the convention centre there on the right-hand side of the track, And then it's on towards the Firestone corner. The big right-hander, 90 degrees. You can use the houses on the left-hand side, all of those high-rises, for a bit of help as you enter the car park. Then go through Indy left. And now it's about focus. The final turn out on circuit. This hairpin for PVG. Started it off in pole position. Has not let anybody else even sniff a lap otherwise. Peter Van Gool has just dominated the race. It's not over for fourth place, though. Amico is having to really be covering off then the chances and advances from one Jamie Ayres, who can't get the drive out of the exit. And it will be a hold for Amico for fourth. Bristow in second. Hunt in third. Great damage limitation again.
Yeah, and that finishing position for Amico might be the one that gets him ever closer to that championship now. With only 2 races remaining, Hunt is doing all he can to stay ahead of Amico, but it's not enough. He needs a retirement out of that number 78 to even have a chance.
That's the key. Do you have a chance? And the way that Amico's driving right now, it seems like he's avoiding every single trouble that is there. What we're going to do, though, is take for the second time here tonight of 3 to our spinning wheel. We're going to determine what the grid will look like for race number 3, and we are spinning that wheel right around now.
It's number 13 this time.
Lucky for some, it is a 13-car reverse grid, one more than that last race. What does that mean in terms of action? Well, Andy Littler is going to be on the front in pole position for that race. A daunting place, if ever there was one, but we are going to get confirmation of result. It is Peter Van Gool, 15 minutes, 43 seconds, wins by 5.1 over Daniel Bristow, with Dan Hunt finishing off in third. It is then in fourth position, one Mr. Vincenzo Amico, along with Jamie Ayres in fifth, who gave it a red-hot go, trying to chase that down, with Andy Maxwell in P6. Rav Cullinan takes seventh, with Mark Lutz in eighth, and Roy Viveka, ninth position overall. The top 10 rounded out by Mick Barry. Anthony Larson then ends up with 11th, Steve Hansford in 12th, and Andy Littler will have the pole after finishing where he started in 13th place. Steve Hefford, 4 laps down and retired. So did Charles Kellyman, the amateur category leader, but he still has a sizable drop round in the back pocket. Alan Toon retiring once again, as well as Steve Cooley for the 17 that have looked to really make their races a reality here today around this beautiful, beautiful circuit. Right, let's grab a driver then for an interview. Where else to look than race victor Peter Van Gool. Peter, important race, that one that really does boost the confidence. Gain the race lead through the reverse grid. Take turn 2 exactly how you want to. Never looked back.
Yep, that's about it. And it's a really tough track, so I was a bit lucky when Charles had his accident and slowed the rest of the group up, so they didn't have any draft. And then the only thing I was doing was looking in my relatives where Bristol was, and I kept him at 5.5 seconds, so I was all right all through the race, to be honest.
Well, all right through the race. This is a track which traditionally brings up a few different results on the page, but for you, this is a culmination of trying to get to that level where you feel comfortable to be winning races. You've been in and around it all season. Do you feel like consistency in the mid part of the season maybe stop you from making a championship challenge?
Yeah, I missed a few races, so I'm going to put my focus on the next season, the autumn season, and I might be up for a top 3, I guess, but you just have to finish races, and on tracks like this, it's hard because if the car in front of you goes into the wall, then you're dead in the water.
It's as simple as that from time to time. So let's talk then. This next race will be starting from P13 on the grid, and the question is going to arise: how is this going to figure out in your plans? It's going to be a long road back up through the field, and what are you expecting to gain out of this third race?
I think starting 13th means you should take it really easy on the first 2 laps and watch things unfold right in front of you and try not to crash into it, and then just onwards and upwards from lap 3 when the tires warm up.
Onwards and upwards then for you. Before we let you go here, Peter, shouts out sponsors, anyone you'd like to thank.
Yeah, shout out to my family who's always watching, and shout out to Pete Newman who's recovering from some illness. So hope you're back next week, Pete, and yeah, catch you on the next one.
Be interesting to come back next week. There shouldn't be any race next week, but Peter Van Gool then clearly having a lot of fun. Victory out there in that race, so every reason to be excited with things going on. We're going to step aside once again here with your Esports Broadcasting Network. We'll be back with more racing action. The third race of 4, the penultimate race of the season, coming up soon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the UK Sim Racing MX-5 Pro Series here from Long Beach, California, USA. We have moved into evening conditions here. It is in sim time 6:34. I read the 8 as an 8 and not as a 6 because military time. It is 6:34 in the evening. The track has cooled considerably to 20 degrees out there on track, and it is cold and it is tough for the championship. I'm Jake Sperry, Sam Cooper Bennett along with me for the ride. It has been a damage limitation style race. You would say the Alain Prost here today is coming out in Amico.
It definitely is, and he's reaping the rewards. Don't get me wrong, Dan, we did the math while we were away, and Dan Hunt is slowly chipping away at that lead, but Amico's doing what he needs to do. Just stay there within touch of Dan Hunt and get those races finished, and if he can continue to do that for the final 2 races, then he will have that championship in his back pocket.
It's so crucial to say this. Only 12 points have been clawed back so far by Dan Hunt, despite his heroics so far in the opening 2 rounds of racing. That brings the gap down from 99 points to 87. And now that might seem on the surface like absolutely nothing at all, but it's very important when you consider how points are scored in this series. It's 100 points for a race win. It's 95 for second and 90 for third. Effectively on base points alone right now here, Sam, Dan Hunt finds a crash out of Vincenzo Amico. This is a case where he would need to be 4th position or higher to take the championship lead.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, you got to take into account as well the points that you get for a clean race, which is 5 points, and you got 2 points for fastest lap as well. Dan Hunt getting the fastest lap in race 2, so that's what helped him chip away at that lead even more. But yeah, it's getting into that window now where if Dan Hunt keeps chipping away at it, he will be in a position to attack now for that championship lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And that championship lead is the key. It takes 1 lapse of concentration around Long Beach to make everything fall into disrepair. And that is the key that we see time and again. Disrepair has happened so much. Just ask Alan Toon, for example. He's not had the best of races. Ask Steve Hefford, for example. He's not had the best of races. Everyone is pretty much on the edge around this place. And it shows here today who's made practice and who's not.
Yeah, Alan Toon is very well known for putting up his practices all the time. He calls them frolics, as that's what his general consensus of a practice is. But he practices a lot, as does Dan Hunt and Vincenzo Amico. Always practices, and again, Hunt getting into a big crash with another optical car. As we get ready to go racing here, Jake.
We absolutely do. So there was a big crash there down on the start-finish line, but the grid is as follows. It will be Andy Littler on the pole position with Steve Hansford alongside Anthony Larson and Mick Barry on row 2. Then it's Roy Vervaker and Mark Lutz, Rav Cullinan and Andy Maxwell, Jamie Ayres, Vincenzo Amico, Dan Hunt and Dan Bristow. Then following that, Peter Van Gool, Steve Hefford, Charles Kellyman, Alan Toon and Steve Cooley makes the 17 drivers available on the grid for this one. All important, Long Beach, USA. This is the colder conditions. It's going to get trickier as this goes through, and they understand better than anybody else. When the track gets cold, it gets slipperier, it gets tougher for it all to play out. So will it be a case of happiness or a case of sadness? Number of drivers not ready on the grid. 5 seconds, 3, and late grids. But we're going to miss out on Steve Hansford, who is going to miss the grid then here on the start. Lights will come on. 1 easier for everyone else in the field. Lights then are going to go out. We are green and we are underway. Very slow reaction time from Andy Littler. Immediately Anthony Larson goes through, shadowed by Mick Barry in the work guard car. That's going to be straight through Roy Vervaker, trying to get this through. And Mark Lutz now and Ralph Cullinan might just have to part the seas, trying to get this going. Barry fighting hard on the inside, trying to take this one in towards turn 2 here at Toyota corner. And Larson on the outside, trying to do everything. Barry's in the wall, and Larson's turned him. And there's the bottleneck as they all funnel through. Bristow's the one who's got through the best.
Dan Hunt getting a piece of that one. That is crucial in the championship fight as well. Didn't get any contact, and there's another result car around through the second part of the fountain. It's Littler, the pole sitter, going around as well. And as you'd expect, it's always race 3 where all the chaos ensues. And look who's in the lead now, Jake.
Absolutely, look who's in the lead. Mick Barry, it's not. But at this stage, it's Roy Vervaker who is there. Larson is second, but only for a moment, because here comes Dan Bristow down the inside. Optical Blue, 1-2 in this race. Larson through then, or down now into third. Hefford is fourth, Cullinan fifth, Maxwell sixth. Amico avoided all of that in seventh. Dan Hunt right now is down there in 10th place with a lot of work to do. Crucially, no damage on the car, but knows he has got to absolutely harry if he wants to go and get anything in comparison to Amico here.
Amico's not that far up the road, though. That's the crucial part. Amico's trying to chase down the 19 of Andy Maxwell. Almost gives him a shove coming through the hairpin right there, and trying to get alongside him is Amico, but doesn't quite get it. Hefford at the same time trying to chase down Steve Cooley as they come down.
Larson.
Oh, it's Larson. No, it is Cooley. Larson's up in P4.
Sorry, I was looking at Steve Hefford. He actually just made the pass there on Anthony Larson, and now Larson's losing more places here, because look at the damage that Anthony Larson's got. It is absolutely hanging off in. Hey, that's Hefford. That's Hefford in the wall.
Yeah, Hefford going around through the fountain, and fountain seems to be, that's actually turn 2, I apologise, but this early part of the course seems to be a problem for a lot of drivers, and those cooler track temperatures that seem to be causing a lot of problems for everybody here tonight.
Oh, they absolutely could be. And there's more dramas, because round's going to go Anthony Larson with the damage, and that's going to be joined almost off. How has that been avoided there by Alan Toon? He's very nearly clattered into the side, or actually had a head-on collision there with one Mr. Anthony Larson, losing it at exactly the same spot. Meanwhile, through all of this, Amico's got through on Andy Maxwell for position, and it's on for the race lead as Daniel Bristow and Roy Vervaker fight amongst themselves in the optical show.
Now, if you're Dan Bristow, you've had the most race wins all season. Roy Vervaker's been searching for a race win all season long. Do you let your teammate have this one just this once?
No, because it's not a guaranteed conclusion that there is pace for Roy Vervaker here today, because behind that, only a handful of seconds down the road, it's Vincenzo Amico. You've got Ralph Cullinan, who can definitely turn a cadence out there on circuit. It's not a done deal after 2 laps of 10 here at Long Beach, USA.
Yeah, as we've had the first couple of laps completed, and Bristow does take the lead away from Roy Vervaker. And still, and this has been the MO of Optical Blue of all season. Just absolutely dominated the front, and that's what's got them the team's championship this season.
Yeah, cannot argue against it. Has just been fantastic so far this season, and you really cannot argue against the way that this one has been working out. So, for Roy Vervaker, he's in second. Bristow now leads. And remember, he's still got those outside championship implications, which could help if both drivers fall into troubles on these next 2 races. Then he could still be there. But Vincenzo Amico locking up a tyre hasn't got the biggest amount of pace. Dan Hunt, though, has got pace, and it's on Charles Kellyman here, who has gone from 15th to 6th in the opening couple of laps. He's going to search now down the inside here as Dan Hunt, and he is going to pick up a place, and he brings the damage down a little bit more.
Yeah, only one car in between him and Amico right now, and that is Andy Maxwell as they come through the hairpin. And Amico actually is on the attack right now as he's looking to try and get around Ralph Cullinan.
He is. Ralph Cullinan's going to have to put his best blocking boots on here today if he wants to try and find a way forward through the important right of Bridgestone corner. They will make the run to Toyota. How hard will Cullinan fight this one on the outside? The answer to that one is not much, as Amico got himself down the inside. There is nothing that Ralph could do, and Amico is onto the podium here at this point in time. I must preface, he has gone 3rd and 4th so far here tonight, has Vincenzo Amico, and 3rd, 4th, 3rd is doing exactly the job that is needed at this moment in time. Oh, Ayers.
Yeah, Jamie Ayers having problems as he has fallen even behind Alan Toon. So again, the Momo drivers, barring Peter Van Gool, just having all sorts of issues here tonight.
Clattered the wall at turn 2. That was the issue there for Jamie Ayers, and as such, race pretty much is going to feel like it's over with the damage to the front at this point in time. Amico still unable to clear and drive away at this point. They've lost 5 seconds to the likes of Viveka and Bristow, and this is an interesting one here because Viveka is staying honest with Dan Bristow's pace. So this could be a case of, well, we can change it around. Look at Dan Hunt, though, pushing away through on Andy Maxwell. He effectively pushed him out of the way like a prop.
Yeah, and that's the kind of attitude you need to have in these kind of races, especially with the championship on the line. You have to get around these guys as aggressively and as cleanly as possible, obviously, with penalty points still on the line, as now he needs to negotiate his way around Ralph Cullinan, and we know how Ralph Cullinan gave Amico a hard time. He's definitely going to do the same to Dan Hunt now.
Oh, no doubts about it, but Dan Hunt is absolutely flying. Did a 1:32.1 on that last lap. You consider that compared to everybody else, that is the fastest lap of the race so far. He is motoring. Someone's gone straight on at turn 2, by the way, and is in the escape road. That's Alan Toon. He's had to do a full 360 Gymkhana style to get himself back out there. Turn around when possible. The GPS is not working.
I think I've heard Tom say that before in the past. That's here comes Dan Hunt now with a move on Cullinan.
Yeah, just like that. He's going to get it done down Seaside Way. He's going to be searching for the overtake and has got the overtake. Beautifully done. And now Amico will get the hurry-up call. You've got to go, sunshine, because Dan Hunt is there again to try and make a move through.
Yeah, and Hunt a bit slow out of the hairpin compared to Amico, but now will have his eyes trained on that orange, black and silver machine as they come down through Bridgestone and towards turn 2, and it's going to be interesting to see how Hunt will get to him, as I'm guessing he's going to utilise the straights here because that's where he's getting the most of the time gained.
Certainly is. We're already halfway through this third race for tonight. So this is going to be crucial now for Dan Hunt. If he wants to get it through, he's got to get it through now. If he can't get it through now, then he is in a world of hurt. He's got to put the pressure on the former World Championship driver, Vincenzo Amico. If he can do that, then job sealed, signed, delivered. The order's slightly wrong, but the way it gets there is the same. Still, though, you'd say for Amico, championship still in his hands. Could easily just let through Dan Hunt and just take the small losses which accrued over the course of these 4 races to pick up the title that way.
Yeah, and Dan Hunt is taking a look there on Amico, and like he said earlier, this is the perfect way to do it the Alan Prost way. Just win it by any means necessary, even if it's just by taking a couple of points, and that's how Amico's doing it. Just even if it's just by a couple of points, he will still win this championship.
Look at Dan Hunt. He is swarming behind Vincenzo Amico. The Doff Reality car wants to find a purchase against the Ronin Sim Sport Academy machine. Now you start figuring out which way do you want to go. It's going to be covered all the way here by Vincenzo Amico, who wants to block this one all the way to the wall, but the door has been opened. Dan Hunt trying to attack down the inside. How hard does Amico fight this one? He doesn't fight it hard. How crucial is that? He is thinking of the long game here tonight at Long Beach.
That he is. And going back on the Alan Prost point, I remember, I think he, back in 1985, he won by half a point, and he did that on purpose. So if he's going to take that kind of measure as to win the championship, then I'm a big fan of Amico in that case.
Didn't Alan Prost only win that half a point, though, because Nigel Mansell spectacularly crashed out?
I can't remember. Possibly. I mean, Mansell spectacularly crashed out of a lot of races, so it's hard to pinpoint which one.
Adelaide.
That's the next year. That was 1986, so when his tyre blew.
85. That would be the one.
Yeah.
So, at least for the time being, though, as we reminisce on legendary drivers out there, we still have a race for the lead, by the way, and it is Daniel Bristow and Roy Viveka first and second. It's almost like Roy Viveka has been trying to race for that clean bonus and the Clean Drivers Award out there, which is 50 championship points. And he's just let the covers off the car, knowing it's just him and Dan Bristow out there who he can trust.
Yeah, and that gap is still getting bigger as well. Dan Hunt now has a 5.9 second gap to get up to, but with only 3 laps to go here, Jake, we already saw what happened with Peter Van Gool in race 2. It's going to be darn near impossible to close that gap up now.
Meanwhile, battle going on for the final spot in the top 10. It's Mick Barry versus Mark Lutz at this stage, and Mark Lutz had a moment on his last lap around the circuit because he did a 1:37.2 out there, which is not a traditional fast time at all. And I'm not quite sure where that time fell away. 36.1. I think it's just damage because Mick Barry has just breezed through.
We're just looking at a replay of what happened to Mark Lutz here, and it was through Indy, and I'm guessing it must have been through the hairpin because, and actually I don't know because it's got through that part clearly, but Lutz already has that damage from lap 1 on his car anyway, so that's probably what's hurting him as well.
Yeah, it's probably that which causes all of the issues, but it's been issue-less so far at the front. Now, question's going to be, is Dan Bristow going to take this win, or is Roy Viveka going to absolutely hang the tail out with as much as possible at this moment in time? This is pretty much a case of hold your hat. The race not quite over, but it feels like this has reached a conclusion with 2 laps to go.
And both of them pretty identical with the wing mirrors hanging off like they are. I mean, it's like someone sitting in the passenger seat there with their arm out the side of the car, and the one they're just trying to copy each other right now. But still very close between these 2 drivers, and who knows, Viveka might actually get aggressive here and try and make a move on the 12.
Might do. They've got the team's championship wrapped up. They've got lap traffic in front of them that they will have to deal with. That's Steve Hansford in the optical green machine, who's a lap down, who should very graciously get out of the way of these 2 drivers as they funnel on through onto Pine Avenue for the 9th time out of 10. Battle still on for the final spot on the podium. And it's these 2 again, Vincenzo Amico, Dan Hunt.
Yeah, and Amico still he doesn't have the fastest lap. Dan Hunt will get an extra 2 points on him, and I think Dan Hunt might actually get 5 points as well, because even though he was involved in the incident on lap 1, I don't think he had any contact there, and he's not had any contact at all race long. So Hunt will be looking to gain more points from Amico after this one.
We'll see. Important point in
there
this.
It goes. There goes the incident.
Just like that, tap against the wall, and I believe you owe an apology if you had yourself an incident for that one there. Sam, that is prime curse of the commentators there, but Amico isn't giving up. You know, he might just go for this move here. He's putting his race at jeopardy here, fighting Dan Hunt. He's going to the outside, trying to pick up this podium here and go through. How much room's Hunt going to give him? Almost none as they go through. Brilliant stuff between them. Inside at the fountain for Amico, he's got the move, but up and under. What a move, up and under. Dan Hunt back into position, up and under at the fountain to move up into the prime places. Off camber there, Vincenzo. You don't want to go and make the overtake there as he slides it through the corner as they battle for the race lead at this point in time. Still, though, there is so much more coming into play. They know that they have got not long to go here as they figure it out. Just the final stages of the laps is where we find ourselves in through the big right-hander. Smoke being kicked up by everyone. Heavy defense coming through from Dan Hunt as Amico searches for his place. Dan Bristow, meanwhile, will have no such troubles as they go through side by side into the Firestone corner. Is this still going to be there? They're going to find its contact! There's contact! Both of the title contenders come together. Cullinan's on the scene. And with that, surely there will be a protest. My word, Bristow wins. Dan Hunt here is going to lose a lot of places. There's more contact. He's completely collided and connected here with the car of Andy Maxwell.
Yeah, and that's a bumper hook right there for both of them. They cannot get separated, and that's cost.
Maxwell's going to take the place.
Yeah, he is. That is going to hurt Dan Hunt, because that might be championship run over.
It might. But at the same time, if this is a penalty and there's a DSQ from this one for Vincenzo Amico for that hit, that's the championship wide open again. It's as simple as that. We do not know how it's going to go. There is a process for these penalties which happens a little bit later on in the week. So whatever happens, this result is completely here, up in the air from this circuit of Long Beach. Race 3 of 4 results will come up after, for the final time tonight, we go to our spinning wheel. Let's work out where the final grid will be stacked up here at Long Beach, California.
And it's number 8.
Oh, it's an 8-car grid. And that's crucial because it will put Dan Hunt on the front row. Peter Van Gool's done it once already. He's got another pole position for the final race of tonight. Let's get confirmation of result, though, here at this stage. It will be Daniel Bristow, who picked up the win, 15 minutes, 40 seconds, won by 8/10 from his teammate, Roy Viveka, in second, with Vincenzo Amico then in position number 3. Ralph Cullinan ended up with 4th, with Charles Kellyman. Not bad there for a recovery into the top 5 after starting 15th, with Andy Maxwell in 6th and Dan Hunt in 7th after contact on the final lap between himself and Amico. It is Peter Van Gool who finishes it off in 8th. 9th going to Steve Cooley, with Mick Barry rounding out the top 10. Jamie Ayres ended up in 11th, with Mark Lutz 12th. Then it's Anthony Larson, Alan Toon, and then Steve Hefford, the last drivers on the leading lap. 1 lap down for Steve Hansford, and then Andy Littler's race over before it really had any chances of getting started. But crucially enough, we are going to grab our post-race interview at this point in time, and there is no other driver that we can talk to than the driver on the receiving end of what happened. Dan Hunt joins us right now. Dan, first things first, are you protesting that incident on the final lap?
Yeah, I'll be protesting that, I think. That's watching it now. He's just driven into me, so.
Well, we talk about such fine margins here, Dan. You got a championship on the line. You're desperately trying to hold on to some points. Do you believe that Vincenzo should have risked his car like that, seeing as he's got such a massive points lead over you?
No, not really. I think he's I don't know. Look at it now. I left him enough room to come to go inside if he needed to, but he's just overshot it. Really expecting me to go out wide, but we're going into the last thing. I'm not going to give him all the room in the world so he can go down the inside. So, but oh well.
Well, that's very understandable. It's the way it goes. You're absolutely right. But it's understandable now that you've got a lot to do in that final race. Of course, decision pending with that. You're going to give it your absolute everything. You're going to be on the front row for that, starting second.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I've got the pace round here tonight. So if we can get in front, hopefully we can pull away.
Well, the chance is there, and we wish you the best of luck for the final race of the season. Before we let you go, Dan, shout out sponsors, anyone you'd like to thank.
Thanks to Doff Reality and Sim Racing Studios. Great companies, check them out.
No worries at all there. Dan Hunt getting a unfortunate end to that race. It all came together on the final lap. And we've got high drama at Long Beach in the UK Sim Racing MX-5 Pro Series. For the final time, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, It will be the final race of the season. Everything on the line, and the result of the championship, by all means, is up in the air. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time this season to your UK Sim Racing MX-5 Pro Series, live from Long Beach, California, as we have a whole lot of deciphering to do in the final stages of this season. What we understand from the incident between Dan Hunt and Vincenzo Amico is that because they've come together and you can't serve EXQs or exclusive qualifying or disqualifications from races in these final sections, whatever points you would score on your license and lose for scoring penalties, they're going to be multiplied by 10 on the final race of the night. What does that mean? Well, it means that Amico is at least down 50 points, could be as much as 80 points right now. What does that say for the championship? If it is that Amico is found to be guilty of that hit on Dan Hunt, it means the championship gap is somewhere right now here on ESPN with, of course, the very wonderful Sam Cooper Bent along with me as Checker Flag comes out, between 30 and 15 points in the championship. And it's all down to this. Peter Van Gool is on pole position. Dan Hunt will be alongside Andy Maxwell in third and Charles Kellyman from fourth. Then it's Rav Cullinan and Vincenzo Amico, Roy Vervaker and Daniel Bristow. Steve Cooley from ninth, Mick Barry 10th, Jamie Ayers, Mark Lutz, Anthony Larson, Alan Toon, Steve Hefford, Steve Hansford and Andy Littler. The 17 drivers here today at Long Beach, California. What a wonderful place this is to end the season off. What a wonderful place this has proven to be. What a controversial final round that we have had ourselves. And now the question becomes, have you got what it takes to put together the end of the season? Hunt's on the front row. Amico starts from P6. The ever fast number 12 with Daniel Bristow will be back there in 8th position just behind. We've got Roy Vervaker at the very last moment onto the grid. Lights will come on then for the final time. In sim time, it's morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's get ready. Let's get steady. Let's get going for the final round of the championship. Van Gool a little slow off the start, immediately covers over on Dan Hunt, who wants to get through and wants to take that race lead because it'll be maximum points if he can find himself to the front. He moves to the inside immediately, trying to get this one done on Peter Van Gool. Can he find a way to the inside as the likes of Cullinan dives into turn number 1? Dan Hunt can, the man who can, and now it's sorted. But Amico is already up here, Sam. It's P5.
Yeah, Amico getting off to the start that he needed to, and knowing that he might have a penalty hanging over him, needs to make up the spot as quickly as possible. Already looking on the back of Ralph Cullinan, but it won't be a good view for him at the front though, as Dan Hunt now leads this race ahead of Peter Van Gool.
Here's the issue though, bonus points. Points per place is 14, the difference between them right now, and if there's a question of lap, fastest lap, it's 2 points. Lead a lap in this race over the start finish line, that's an extra 3 points. So you understand that at the moment, that is 105 points in the back pocket of Dan Hunt, which it very much could be, which would be enough to tip the scales in certain scenarios. And Amico here is struggling with pace because here comes Bristow just behind him.
Yeah, and that is the worst person you could have right behind you at this early point in the race. Bristow is going to be a man on a mission right now to try and get as many positions as possible, and who cares about the championship fight? He's going to be going for that pass as quickly as possible as they come out of the final turn, and it's all kicking off with Jamie Ayres getting into it at the back there.
Yeah, Anthony Larson very nearly just completely T-boned Mick Barry, got away with it. He was so deep on the brakes and got away with that chance. But here comes Amico now, looking to line up Ralph Cullinan just like he did in the last race, down to the inside trying to search for it. He's incredibly late on the brakes, sorting it out, and has got the move sorted. So wonderfully done there by Amico. He's up into 4th. He's gaining those places. He's doing what he needs to. But again, he's got that looming number 12 behind, who we know will race for any position as hard as possible, Daniel Bristow. And that will be the one worry in this race.
Yeah, and the other worry is that Hunt is now starting to pull away with Peter Van Gool at the front as well, so needs to keep that in mind, as well as Bristow already trying to look around the outside of Cullinan going into TK corner.
Yeah, TK has been a wonderful place to see some racing as they now move from Pine Avenue onto Seaside Way. The big right-hander, 90 degrees. Those tyres really do jut out at you as you go there. Bristow's got a fantastic run here on Ralph Cullen. I'm not sure there's much you can do when you get to Firestone Turn. You can make a move happen or cover it off. But there goes Bristow down the inside. Wonderfully concocted overtake. And now up into the top 5 with that one. Dan Hunt in control at the front of the field. It's PVG, Peter Van Gool in second, and Andy Maxwell all of a sudden is a little slow off the exit, and that's opening up Amico another chance. The moment that Dan Bristow gets behind, he gets a chance to go and attack, but the moment that it was slow from Andy Maxwell, look at how that gap catapulted to the Momo machine of PVG, Peter Van Gool.
Yeah, it did. And here comes Amico again, another spot in the offing for the number 78 as he dives it into turn 2. And Bristow going to try and follow it through as well. It's Maxwell in the wall, and Bristow gets into it as well.
And so too did Cullen, and they're all going to funnel through. Viveco is going to slip through the middle of all of them. Just like that, Andy Maxwell seeing 2 very fast drivers behind, tagging the wall on the outside, causing a chain reaction. Still not over here because Anthony Larson here, they're almost 3 wide here with Jamie Ezra, who's pushing through the corner, and a hip check there to Charles Kellyman, who drops a couple places for his troubles. What a hectic moment. What it has done is allowed the top 3 to break away, and just like in race 1, Vincenzo Amico's got an island to work with. If it stays like this, no matter what happens, Amico's going to have championship written in lights.
Yeah, he will. And he's got plenty of time now to make up that 2.5 second gap to Peter Van Gool. Right behind him is Roy Viveca, and this battle is not over in that little mix as well as Cullen, and dealing with some damage there. Gets passed by Andy Maxwell, who was involved in that lap 2 incident. Lap 3 started lap 3, as Mick Barry again capitalising from everybody else's mistakes. He's already back up to P7.
God, it's so slow as Andy Maxwell through that final corner. Cullen just shufties him out of the way, and now it's Mick Barry's turn to try and find this overtake. Can he alert himself to it as Cullinan really struggles, slows it way down on the straight? I think he's got heavy damage from all of that, and Bristow here could get 3 on the run to turn 2. He's got Mick Barry down the inside here as he wants to try and get this move done. Can he get it slowed up here? Barry's gone way too deep. He's going to be in the fence. Barry's in the fence.
Yeah, Barry, big trouble there, just outbraked himself there, now rejoins behind Mark Lutz and in front of Steve Hefford now, all kicking off in this final race of the season. And Bristow, don't spin him out because that just makes him more angry. He's just going to take all your positions away again and take your lunch money.
Oh, a bully. He's a bully of a sim racer sometimes, is Daniel Bristow. He's incredible in the way that he can turn a pace and just walk away from drivers as if it were purely natural. Doesn't like being interviewed, does Dan Bristow, but my goodness, is he a quick sim racer in the wall? He's a quick sim racer in the wall. He was pushing too hard. His race is over.
Yeah, and he just went in too early, hit the inside wall, and that was enough.
Wide.
They are 4. Where? Oh my goodness me! Don't kick it off.
There was Cullinan, there was Lutz, there was Barry, and there was Hefford. They were 4 wide.
Let's go back and take a look at that one, and let's just enjoy this for a second because this is very rare to see, especially at Long Beach. 4 wide down towards Firestone, and you don't see that very often, Jake.
You don't. That takes incredible alertness and skill to make sure that you are in line and you are ready and you are not going to cause an accident. Now you got battles, a little tap to the back of Andy Maxwell from Steve Hefford trying to force himself to the inside. Can he slow it up? No, he can't. He's going to be in the wall. He's in the wall. And now Barry's going to get through. Now Mark Lutz is going to try and get through here. No! Lutz is going to hurt him. There goes Hefford. He's in the wall at the fountain.
Still able to keep it going, so no serious damage for Hefford, but that's going to put him right in the clutches of Valentoon now. So Hefford's bad night continuing. Meanwhile, Vincenzo Amico not closing the gap, and he doesn't really need to. If he stays where he is champion as things stand right now.
Absolutely. Dan Hunt may be winning this race, may have the fastest lap of this race, may have led every lap so far of this race. It will not matter. He will not be able to score enough points as things stand. It's going to be really close in terms of championship points, but you'd argue right now that Amico did enough. And let's not forget here, as we are on lap 5 of 10 of this final race here tonight, that Vincenzo Amico missed the opening 2 rounds of the season, used both his drop weeks, and is still looking likely that he's going to come away with the title.
That he is, and it's been such an impressive run by the former pro driver. And no matter what happens, if barring a spectacular incident, he will have that number 1 in his car next season. And I am happy to say that we will be back to show every single race of this series next season, and it's going to be even more exciting with with all the drivers back there again.
Absolutely. Jamie Ayres having a little search to the inside of Anthony Larson in the fight for 5th position. Not going to be able to find that one here on lap 6 of the race, and now he's starting to really understand, okay, these are positions that are going to be hard fought for between now and the end of this one. Hansford's been trying, so has Cooley, and positions are massive. Lutz still racing, by the way, against Mick Barry for place for 8th and 9th. Mick Barry's had a great night's worth of racing.
That he has, and if only he didn't miss those few races through the midway of the season, he would have been right up there in the M category conversation. Unfortunately, illness took toll, and he had to miss those few races.
Absolutely, those few races really have been a shame to see. Mick Barry not here. He's an integral part of the community here at the UK Sim Racers, I would say, clinic being put on at this moment in time, with every single fight meaning a little something to someone somewhere as they continue on their charge. Still got Hansford and Cullinan, for example, battling it out for 11th place. Hansford through, sliding about on the tyres through the Indy left. In towards the final section, runs wide off the exit as well, tags the wall again. Hello, that's another friend that he can add to the party. And now all of a sudden Andy Maxwell's under pressure. So too is Anthony Larson right now. Top 3 line astern. But here comes the move from Ayres. He's again lifting out of it on the inside. Yeah, being very cautious through turn 2, and why not? It's a bad move through there can cost you the race, and Ayres just realising that, and he can fight on another day and try and get that position away in a different part of the course. Certainly can, and a different part of the course might just have to be the place. You've got to look unorthodox sometimes if you're wanting to get it done. Worth noting that it is now 1.5 seconds for Dan Hunt at the front. No look there for Jamie Ayres at this point in time. Maxwell in full limp home mode, it seems, at this point in time, and the one driver out of this race at the moment is Daniel Bristow. What we can confirm as well here in this one is that we do have an amateur champion in this field here, Sam, and it is Charles Kellyman in the number 67. Yeah, it was almost pretty much confirmed at the start of the night, but as results fell, Kellyman just pretty much confirmed it, possibly after race 2, even though he had a couple of bad results. But Maxwell, with his expected retirement now, puts the crown on Kellyman's head, and he will come away with the AM category championship after this one. Absolutely, and that amateur category championship is got a really strong lineage to it of one race winner overall, or championship winner of that, Martin Sampson, who definitely proved in the back half of last season that he deserved that. He's on holiday and has been with us in our YouTube chat, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who have been watching, we've been so glad that you have been here for the entirety of the season. The move finally done, though, for Jamie Ayres. 3 laps of waiting for it. He's forced the mistake out of Anthony Larson, who outbroke himself into 1. Yeah, and he heads into the wall straight after the fountain, though. That's not going to help him, as he's got to really contend with that one and get himself back underneath him. Thankfully, Larson is too far back to mount a challenge, but Ayres needs to keep that car out of the wall. Yeah, absolutely, and that is not going to be ideal at all. If you are going to be clattering into those walls like Jamie Ayres is, you are going to be in for a world of trouble, and trouble with a capital T is what we are seeing right now out there on track. It has really been a race of trouble for drivers, as they have created some huge monumental gaps in this race. For example, it's about 5 seconds to each battle out there, and Steve Hefford's not done here. He's got eyes on Charles Kellyman. He wants 9th.
Yeah, and Hefford recovering from that early double spinning had a couple of laps ago, and there goes Hefford. Big dive through IndyCar, through the Indy corner and into the hairpin. Job done there for Hefford. I've just noticed the gap between Dan Hunt and Pete Van Gool, now 3.2 seconds, and Dan is just absolutely streaking away from PVG right now.
Yeah, I think this is a case of, well, I can't do anything more. Vincenzo Amico is not close enough to PVG. I can't back them up into each other this late in the championship, this late in the race. I'm just going to drive my own race, see how it goes from there, and just get everything sorted out that I need to as a driver. So, now what is the final thing that we see? Dan Hunt is trying everything, but Amico has just been so clinical, so consistent all season long, Sam, that to be quite honest, you know, this has been an incredible race. We've got someone off at turn 1, that's Steve Hansford.
Yeah, and Hansford's had a difficult night here tonight as well in the optical green machine, but I just want to give a quick shout out to Optical Green as well. They are an AM category team, and they finished 2nd in the team points, so a big tip of the hat to that team at this late stage of the season.
Pays to show up, doesn't it? Every race they are there and creating some great opportunities, scoring the points, doing what they need to. Final lap of the season then. Barney the flagman waves the white flag in the iRacing gantry as we move through the first corner with Dan Hunt in the 07. That is the beautiful Bridgestone corner into Toyota. Turn number 2, the left-hander as you go on through, and then attack into the fountain section. Left, right, left on the exit of the roundabout, and then you head to aquariums 1 and 2. These corners so very difficult and very much transfer style corners back onto the next section, which runs to the TK turn. Pushing every stage of the way is Dan Hunt as he now looks to try and find that 90-degree left-hander, which just opens up on the exit for more turning and more turning still. It has been a tough race to go and get. Tough 4 races tonight. It has really been a challenge as he moves now onto Seaside Way for the final time in this one. The long run to the right of Firestone Turn is up next. He's thrown everything at it in this championship. He has led it most of the way, his Dan Hunt. Unfortunately, the results have just not fallen the way that he would want to. Just a couple rounds this season have been left desiring for him. It's been an excellent attempt, though, to bring down 99 full points here at Long Beach. Dan Hunt is going to win the battle in the final race. He is going to take the victory here at Long Beach. Van Gool will come second, and the title, penalty or otherwise, will be secured. Vincenzo Amico will cross the line, and he will go to Titletown the same way Andreas Katz did 3 months before.
Congratulations going out to Vincenzo Amico, picking up the championship, and it's hard to believe that he missed the first 2 rounds of the season and still came away with the championship due to those drop points that came in a few rounds ago. Very well done by Amico, even with the penalty on top of him, will still claim the championship, and very well deserved for the 78. The great thing that we have, the great thing we can say here is, Jake, that these two get to go at it again in season 3, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
I very much am as well, and it is a wonderful achievement to see just how strong the races are. And if you think Vincenzo Amico on 10 weeks is very tough, try him on 12. That'll be even tougher to go and deal with. Let's run through official classified results here from Long Beach, USA, California. Dan Hunt wins the battle, 15 minutes, 34 seconds through everything and a bit more at it, but ultimately could not get the job done for the championship. He tried everything. He couldn't do any more in that final race. Peter Van Gool ends up with second, 2 important podiums for PVG tonight, with Vincenzo Amico securing the championship with that 3rd place finish, penalty or otherwise, from race number 3. Roy Viveka gets 4th place with 5th belonging to Anthony Larson, and Jamie Ayers ending up in 6th position, the Welshman. Mick Barry will take 7th ahead of Mark Lutz in 8th position. Charles Kellyman confirming the amateur category championship in 9th, with Steve Hefford rounding out then at the top 10. Alan Toon gets a finish at last here at Long Beach, 11th place. Every bit of achievement. Sometimes it's not the winning, it's the finishing that gets everything all sorted, with 12th position going to Steve Cooley. Ralph Cullen ended up with 13th, with Steve Hansford 14th. And it was Andy Littler, Andy Maxwell, and Daniel Bristow making the field overall, and so it will be very, very important. So what I'm just getting confirmation in from my ears from the race stewards, we're hearing it will be a 3-point penalty, minus 25 points, and then on an exclusion from qualifying, if that is the penalty that Amico goes in, that is minus 60 points here in this one. So you're looking at roughly 85 points that could be gone from Amico's tally. And if it is 85 points, and it was close to the 90 that we were expecting, that is a lot closer. And Dan Hunt may have just had this championship. Even now, we cannot officially confirm what the championship looks like. We have to wait for things to go on. If there is a case, Sam, where the championship does decide, because we are calling Amico as our champion right now, if it does decide, do we have the power to make an emergency broadcast?
Well, I should think we do. I mean, we've got some spare time, so I wouldn't mind doing that, and we can definitely get that organised. But what a season it's been, though, Jake. I mean, so many ups and downs, and lots of little battles going on. Dan Hunt, I mean, Andreas Katz with his meltdown mid-season and leaving the championship. Cesare Rizzo with his win earlier on in the season. It's so many things happening this season. Hard to believe it's only been 12 races, 12 tracks, and it's only been 12 weeks. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. One thing we can do, though, because I doubt that we're going to get Vincenzo Amico in for conversation here, we are going to grab our amateur category champion here for us for a interview. Charles Kellyman joins us right now. Charles, congratulations. You are the amateur category champion. It's the only championship, aside from the teams one, that we completely knew what the result was at the end of it all. But for you, a season which has been completely built on the fact that you have the ability to finish races cleaner than anybody else.
Yeah, that's been my go-to tactic, just to finish the race and finish clean, 0x if possible. But keeping those incident points as low as possible each race was my main goal, and yeah, it paid off.
Certainly did pay off. And in terms of now how you look, you have gone and won the AM category, which means you are getting your promotion to pro. How are you looking to improve now season on season, seeing as your consistency has got you way up in the championship, well inside the top 10, and now you've got points to go and forage for next season?
Do you know, I think I'm going to carry on doing what I've been doing because it seems to work. I haven't seen the final table as yet, but I guess I'm somewhere in the top 10. And that's just, doing what I've been doing week after week. If, now that I am moving up to pro, I will fight the pros a little bit harder than I have been. I've been giving them a lot of space this season and previous seasons, obviously, but I think I will challenge them a bit more. But I think my main goal is to continue what I've been doing and hopefully finish high up again.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Charles Kellyman is taking the gloves off. Beware next season. But Charles, how important has it been for you to have that optical team around you? The blue team, which has dominated the championship for the teams. Of course, your amateur category team in optical green has been absolutely fantastic as well. Just talk about the camaraderie that is around that brilliant team.
When at the start of the season, we didn't really have a game plan. We just wanted to, have good races. And, if anything, we wanted to do well in the team championship. Obviously individuals, like myself, Andy, we do want to improve and move up to pro. But I think the main aim was to do well in the team championship. That paid off pretty well for the blue team. Done fantastically. In terms of the green team, Steve Hansford's really been pushing for clean races as well. He can gain an extra 5 points per race for that. So he's been playing his part as well, doing absolutely fantastically for the team.
Absolutely. Before we let you go, though, Charles, to celebrate with your team, any shout-outs, any sponsors, anyone we'd like to thank after picking up the amateur category championship goes pro next season?
Yeah, so obviously Steve Hansford, Andy Maxwell, Martin Sampson, Roy Vervaeke, Dan Bristow. Also, somebody who hasn't raced this season, but he's still firmly part of the team, which is Michael Wortman. I believe he's been watching week in, week out. If he hasn't, I'll have a go at him for not watching because he's missed some fantastic races. But yeah, Michael Wortman, hope to see him back very, very soon. Obviously, Mick Barry for all the work he's been doing week in, week out. Steve Hefford for putting all this together, and obviously you guys doing what you do week in, week out. I'll be up until probably midnight tonight watching it all back. But yeah, fantastic job, guys.
No worries at all there. Charles Kellyman, your amateur category champion, joining us then here today. But Sam, final thoughts as we bring the season to a close for us right now. But what we definitely can say is that this title, even after all the races have been done, is still not decided.
Yeah, and that's all owing to that one simple move in race 3 that threw it all up in the air. Hopefully it gets sorted out soon. If we have to come back and do an emergency broadcast, then we will do. I have no qualms about that. But what a season we've had. I mean, so like I said, so many ups and downs, so many twists and turns, lots of chaos, as we always love on this channel. And yeah, bring it on, season 3. I'm looking forward to it.
Bring it on indeed. The only place you can catch that is with us at the Esports Broadcasting Network. If you haven't had the chance to already, you can like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content brought to you by the team here. But a massive thanks to everyone who has got it done, from the team behind the scenes, of course, at UK Sim Racing, and of course for the group that has been around here for this season, from Sam Cooper-Bennett, from of course myself, Jake Sperry. The season is still not decided. As things stand, if you don't hear from us between now and next season, Vincenzo Amico has taken his first title here in the championship. He gave absolutely everything all season and did so. But that one penalty on the final week, which is amplified by 10 because it's the final week, that could decide the championship. If we come back, you hear from us once again, you know that the title has gone to Dan Hunt, who has led the most championship weeks in the UK sim racing history. We will see you when we see you, be it on Tuesday, be it on next Tuesday, be it next season. We are going to enjoy it all the way. Thank you for watching ESPN. We'll see you very soon.